Yo, alright. So not long ago we did Samuel Jackson, the head. We just drew the heads. The guy needs a body. The poor guy needs to be attached to a bloody body. Okay, so we're gonna get into this, man. We're gonna start drawing the body using the same kind of method we did for the head. And that's basically using something that we found on the internet, using it as a basis and tracing over to capture the shape of the body and then eventually make it into an animatable character. Right, okay, so first thing we do actually, we're gonna actually take the color palette. We're gonna take the same color that Samuel Jackson's face is and use it as this, okay? So when you draw the arms and stuff like that, it will automatically fill for you. So when it automatically fills, you want exactly the same color, so we don't need to go back and edit it. So copy the color palette, Control C, right? And then we've got that just in case it doesn't work. It usually does, but you know, we'll see. Okay, so make the head invisible. So we want this topless gentleman over here to use as a basis for the body. Okay, so right, go to here, create a new layer. We want the bone layer, right? So we want these vectors, the same way you did with the head with the group. It's just a bone layer, it's completely different, the same kind of concept. Want to put vectors in there, duplicate them and set them up for drawing. Okay, so what we want to do is start on the body first. Doesn't matter the order, we can just reorder them after. So name this one body. Okay, and zoom in, pan across, zoom in a little bit more, pan across a little bit more. Okay, cool. Right. Okay, so let's start from his traps. Alright, this guy's kind of hench. I'm not perving over the guy, but I'm saying it's kind of hench. Okay, cool. Take it around here. Actually, what you want to do here for the pectoral muscles, because you want them in the same kind of layer as the body, we don't want to make them separate, there's no point. So you come off here and you get to that layer, so leave that there. So just remind you to finish off the shape for his pecs and then finish off the rest of the body the way it goes around. On symmetrical bodies, you can literally just copy and paste from one side to the other, but as you can see, this is slightly 3/4 view, which is exactly what we want for the head we drew. So you have to draw each part. So we'll come down here, using the curvature tool, of course. Oh, coming off here again for the shape. Then you can use the line width tool at a later time to capture the shape even further. It doesn't matter if it looks a bit jagged and a bit abnormal and a bit disfigured right now, you can get to that layer and sort that out. Cool, so we've got the body. Once again, we need to put the asset above the bone layer. Okay, zoom in, click off, make sure all the points are free, and then start from here, then come round. There you go, you got the pectoral and it will fade out just about here. Same with the other part, fade out just about there. The parts like the abs and stuff like that, we can either not draw that or get to that later. I'm not going to draw that for the sake of this example. We just need the pecs, you know, because it look weird without a chest, and maybe draw the nipples later. Okay, so right, we made that invisible, so we need to click on these lines. Okay, so they fade out naturally. So zoom in, then take the line width tool, remember that, and then click the endpoints and scale all the way down, and then the next one up, scale a little bit, and the next one up, scale a little bit. So when you render preview, it will look like that. That's exactly what we want. So we do the same with the bottom bits down here. Oh, I'm on the wrong bit. Okay, cool. Right. Scale that down, scale that bit down slightly, scale that down, scale that down slightly, scale that down slightly as well. Reset view and we're back in business. Right, make that visible again. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna draw in some quick nipples, man. This guy needs some nipples, man. I'm not gonna do him like that. Black people's nipples are a bit darker, right? Yeah, they're darker than the skin. I think so. Let me check mine. Yep. Cool. All right. Right, so nipples right there. Copy, paste, and move that over there. Then bro's got two burger nipples. The lines are a bit thick, so bring them down a little bit. Say about 2. Yeah, 2 is fine. 2 works. 2 works, man. 2 works. Right. Okay. So that's that. Right. So what do we want to get onto next? Let's say the neck, actually. Yeah. Right. So again, it doesn't matter what order it's in. We can reorder after. So we'll name this neck layer. Sorry. And then start from here, go up here. Then we want to get the shape of the neck here. And what we're going to do, it doesn't matter if it's over the top, we're going to make those lines at the bottom invisible so you won't even see them. Right? Yep. Okay, make that invisible. Okay, so you want the, oh, hang on, that's darker. We need a lighter color palette for a start. Okay, so we need that over the body. It's the wrong width. We can just go to the body layer and take it from here. So use the shape color tool, copy the color palette, go back to the neck, paste the color palette, and make the width 5. Make that visible so you can see where the neck begins and ends in terms of the lines. So we want to make the lines invisible from about here to here. Maybe actually put another point. Cool, so it can be symmetrical. And then we want, so remember where those points were, go to the hide line tool, then go around on the lines, make them invisible. Then you're in business. Boom, boomf. Line width tool again, boomf, done. Okay, so you got your body and your neck so far. So we want to go to the shoulder blades just yet. That's just like intricate details that we could add later date, but I'm just trying to give you a basis here, show you the example of how I build the bodies. So we want to label this upper left arm. Right, we've still got the width 5, same color palette obviously, make that visible. Okay, and then take your add points tool, make sure it's uncurved, and then add the points. Add that little bit there for the shape of his bicep. Okay, so the upper arm will end at the elbow here. Yep, and then you come back around here. Yep, that'll be underneath the pecs, that's fine. Go back up here. Come down. Yep. Add that, move that a little bit. Cool. Yep, we've got the arm. Obviously it looks a bit disfigured right now, but you can move the points. So, okay, what does this arm actually come up to? So you can move this point over to here. And yep, cool. All right, made that invisible. Reset view, that's that. We can make the lines invisible later. Okay, by the end of this, this guy is probably going to look like a Ken doll, and that's normal because you just need to make lines invisible, etc, etc, so that's fine. Okay, so we take another vector layer and then label it lower left arm. Okay, yep, so let's start from about here. Okay, yep, then end around here because we're going to take one of our created hands and then put it on top of that. Okay, obviously you use the same method as I'm using now to create the rest of the anatomy, to create the hands, and you know, you can scour the internet for different hand gestures as well, so you can actually put them in a switch layer and change them as needed. Okay, right, that's the upper arm and the lower arm done. Okay, so we make these points invisible. Take the line width tool, scale that down a bit, then do the same with the lower arm. Oh, wrong one. Okay, point's about here. Yeah, make that down a little bit, down a little bit. Okay, zoom out. Okay, cool. And we do the same with the other side. I mean, to be fair, you could just copy and paste the left upper and lower arms to the other side. You know what, let's see if that works. We'll just save you time, you know what I mean? So in fact, forget copy and paste, you can just duplicate this and then rename it upper right arm. Yeah, then you go to the transform layer and then horizontal switch it and then move the points into place, and then usually it should be fine. Make sure that anchor point right there is on the, in fact, let's make sure it's on the elbow bit. Not elbow, shoulder. I need to go back to school. Right, take the transform tool again, rotate it a little bit, make sure it's in place. Yep, cool, yeah, all right. So do the same with the lower left arm and then rename it into lower right arm. All right. Switch horizontally, put that into place. Make sure that anchor point is at this point here. You can move it elsewhere, but for the sake of it, you know, bending, if you need to bend it back into place, it's just easier if you do it at the joint, like a real bone and skeleton structure would look. Skeleton, can't even talk. Skeleton structure would look and operate. Cool, done. Right, I just need to stop talking shit. Okay, so render preview. This is what we've got so far. Obviously, yeah, it looks a bit weird, but we can hide the lines, as I said before, and I keep reiterating that because it's important. Okay. Right, cool. So, yep. So let's hide these lines right now. Okay. Hide. In fact, zoom in. Hide. Yep. Okay. Change the shape of that a little bit, because now that that's alone, it's going to look a little bit weird. Should hide that line, and then use the line width tool and scale that down a bit. Scale that other side down a bit, actually. Okay, I need to hide that. Might have to bring that back a bit, make it look more natural. Yep. Right, hide that line, and that should look okay, ish. Ish. This thing is basically trial and error, man. You just need to make sure you know what works for you. Okay, that looks okay-ish. There's a bit of fixing up to do around the shoulders, but you know, that's basically what we want for now, right? Okay. Right, so yeah, so they're the arms and the upper torso. So we do the same for the lower torso, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to do the upper torso, so you can just apply the same principles I'm showing you here to the lower part of the body. So we'll stay with this for the moment, right? Okay. So do we want to add detail, add some shading to a bit? Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Right. So we take this, turn the transparency up a little bit, turn the alpha to about 81-ish. Okay, so that's the color black 81 alpha, right? Make that invisible. And you can add shadows below his pecs or whatever, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to add it to the side of his body, from about here. Just give a bit of detail a bit. And stop there. Yep. Okay, so you can see we've got lines on the shade here. So just take the hide line tool, drag it along it, man. You're laughing. Okay, render that out. Cool. And you can do the same for the arms if you want, but I'm not going to do that for this. I'm just going to show you what's done. Okay, so as you can see, it's literally just the same principles as you would draw a face. So if you want to add like abs and things like that, you know, go ahead or whatever. But, you know, this is basically just a basic example of what is actually involved. So that's that, man. That's the body drawn. So the next video, I'll show you how to rig this body and to make it move, and we attach the head and then make it into a movable character. Stay tuned. Boom.